Hey, what's up, guys? So recently I got asked what makes ShiftEQ ShiftEQ. And the more I thought about it, well, the more I just want to enlighten you guys as to what it is. So when we talk about fitness, a lot of the mainstream stuff, or all the logical stuff, so to speak, are like dealing with the diets, like the fad diets, the fasting, the workout plans, all the things that can pretty much be measurable by some kind of a number or some kind of a metric. Those are usually all of the logical things that go along with fitness and health. The other part of it is the psychological stuff. And let me tell you, on the internet, you could find every reason in the world, or every single diet plan, every single workout plan, every single everything. Everybody knows those answers. But the reason why obesity is at an alarming 70+% amongst all Americans, and also why diets have a 95% failure rate, is because most people just go for the logical stuff and don't even go as to the why or the reason, aka the psychological reasoning as to why they even want the results to begin with in the first place. We live in a society, where a lot of what we think we want are actually just impressed upon us based off of social media, based off of an ex or a crush telling us that we should be of something of some nature. Sometimes it comes from us telling ourselves we should be something, even though it might not really resonate with us to the soul and to the core of who we are. And, I'm going to use myself as an example here. Growing up as an Asian American, or growing up as an Asian in effectively white America, and also growing up as a foster kid, those events, those moments of my life developed kind of like a complex for me, where I felt this need to constantly prove myself even more than the average person. So a lot of the health and fitness results that I used to be whatever was popular. So let's say, The Rock just did a movie. Now I'm going to get all buff. I try to get all big and everything. And then let's say, I don't know, some movie was like Zac Efron came out or something. And now I just want to lean down and get abs. And I realized like I was doing those cycles because it was based on what I saw in movies. Also, what media was telling me, what social media was telling me, whatever hashtags I was following at the time that told me that the only way I can be a man or something like that, or to be accepted, is to look like this. Now, it wasn't until a few years ago I realized that, I started shifting from, instead of making an impression onto others, started impressing onto myself. Started working out for myself. I started doing things, started nurturing my soul, nurturing my lifestyle, nurturing me from the inside out. So if you look at like the past pictures that I have in years past, you'll see moments where I get big. You'll see moments that I'm skinny. But never do I actually look as healthy as I do now. And that has everything to do with me shifting. Instead of trying to impress everybody else, instead of trying to work out to make an Instagram post, or then try to impress a girl that I'm pursuing, or try to make an ex remorseful about breaking up with me or something of that nature, I've channeled all of those energies towards myself. Now, it's still a work in progress. If there's one thing that I've learned about my life and with regards to raising up and finding a better echelon for us to be on, or a higher self, so to speak, there's always room for growth, no matter what. There's always something of which we can be better at. Now, that doesn't mean it's a deficiency. It doesn't mean that there's something wrong. It's just, if there are certain characteristics, if you realize you want to be better at it, then there's room for growth. And if not, that's fine. You're perfectly perfect the way that you are, right? And also, starting from that, exactly what I just said right now, which is, if you can start with accepting yourself the way that you are now, accepting it in its entirety, let's say if you think that you're fat, but you realize that, it's the way that you've been eating or the way you've been treating yourself, and you can accept it, then there's a point for change that we can move on. And that's what ShiftEQ does, is it makes us aware of where we are right now based on what we're saying. And it's not the stories that we tell ourselves, right? A lot of stories that we tell ourselves, no matter what I do, I'm going to still be fat. No matter how much I eat, I'm going to still gain weight. No matter what, right? Like all the stories that we tell ourselves, the limiting beliefs that we tell ourselves. And that's what we do. That's what we do at ShiftEQ. is help you recognize those thoughts, recognize their beliefs, everything that you've been doing up until that point. Maybe it's a complex like I grew up with, this constant need to feel an impression on everybody else. Maybe it's an insecurity that you've had. Maybe you have body dysmorphia and you just haven't been able to shake it off no matter what. So you think like if you think you fit an image, you're going to finally be accepted. Maybe it's not being able to accept yourself until you look a certain way. And even then, understand that you might still not accept yourself because of other inner work that you got to do. And all of these are okay. They're all okay as long as you can accept them and then go from there. Right? I mean, look, it doesn't take a real coach. It doesn't take anybody to tell you, hey, go on a deficit of calories. Probably have don't eat carbs here. No. The real work, the real change, if you want it, and if you want it to be a permanent one, starts with here. It's everything that you can build that makes you into your authentic self. And then you start pursuing that energy into your health and fitness. And it's not that you start doing things because of that energy. That energy naturally manifests its own results. It causes your own actions because it becomes second nature, because you're not trying to be skinny anymore. You're trying to feed your soul. You're not trying to fit an image. You're trying to just be happy with the way you are. And you already are happy because you're pursuing it in its entirety from a pure standpoint, not from an impression standpoint. ShiftEQ gets down to the real nitty-gritty of why people even get into the habits that they're in. It deals everything from, it's not just diets either. It's not going to just tell you what to eat. It's going to, ShiftEQ, we have plans for how to recover from when you're drinking too much or if you're up all night. Let's say you do want to have a couple drinks, right? A, I'm not going to shame you for it. And B, all right, now let's have this plan. Make sure that you eat 15 or you drink 15 minutes after you're done eating, and make sure you only have this, this, and this. And if we go outside of this is how we can recover the next day. It's not about changing your lifestyle, so to speak, but it's more of finding the efficiencies in everything that you already do so that you can live the life that you already lead, but make better decisions on certain ends. Because I'm trying to tell you, it's the small things that make all the difference. Make all the difference. Let's say you eat 3 cheeseburgers a day, right? Something extreme. But you have, one of those burgers that you decided to not have a bun on, right? That's like 200 calories for the entire bun. Now you put that per 7 days, that's 1,400 calories that you cut from the day just by not having a bun on one thing that you do. And those things change. So instead of, let's say you wake up early in the morning, maybe if you wake up 30 minutes earlier and have like a jog or something, the amount of calories you get from that fasted cardio and also getting your day start off on a better day or on a better foot with more energy. It's making these small, subtle changes that make the entire difference in the big picture. Too many people are just composed and obsessed with having a next door result. That's why liposuction is so sought after. But guess what? You know what the worst thing you could do is after getting a $25,000, $50,000 liposuction is still going back to where it started because you haven't worked on anything else on the inside that got you to that point to begin with. And see, I don't care what macro counters say. You can look at every single deficit in the world. None of those will be able to tell you why you keep overeating in these certain instances. None of those will be able to tell you why every single time you have a drink, you have 10,000 of them. None of those macro counters, none of those anything are going to tell you, hey, it's your childhood, trauma from being called fat your entire life that makes you keep on defaulting to this kind of behavior. And here's another thing about those mindsets. Let's say you have a self-deprecating mindset, which unfortunately is the commonality. There's a lot of commonalities in those people. There's a lot of those kind of people, right? And if you're one of them, it's okay, right? Let's start reframing those thoughts. And I'm going to show you here why you should. Let's say you tell yourself that you're a fat ass. Again, that's really aggressive, but there are people that literally tell themselves that on a regular basis. You probably know a couple. It is what it is. So let's say you have one of those friends that say, I'm a fat ass. I'm a fat ass. No matter what I do, I'm a fat ass. Those thoughts become beliefs. Those I'm a fat ass no matter what beliefs turn into actions. And now let's say you're on a plan, but you have these thoughts of telling yourself that you're a fat ass, right? So let's say you're that guy at a hamburger stand. You're going to get like a protein style burger, make a shift to a better meal. And instead of getting fries, you get a salad. But the thought you tell yourself is, well, I'm a fat ass anyways, no matter what. So then you end up getting the fries. Well, I'm a fat ass no matter what I do. So then you end up getting a soda. And I've seen that. I've seen those breakdowns that happen. People that have like one drink. Well, if I have one drink, now I'm going to have two. Now I'm going to have two and have three. Next thing you know, you're on a binger and it's an all night third. And look, I'm not any better. I've been down that road. Been down the road way too many times. But the key isn't to just accept that conclusion. You can start working on those things. If you have that one drink, be like, hey, you know what? My usual behavior before this was to have 10,000 of them. Why not stop now? Maybe one more and that's it. And that's it though. Not the whole casual story like, 2 usually means 5, 5 usually means 10, 10 means till tomorrow, right? No, start putting restrictions, start putting boundaries for yourself. That's what we do at ShiftEQ. Then that's just a small number of things that we've worked on, that I've worked on, that I've seen. And to be frank with you, if you really want a change, if you really want to stop going through diet after diet, and you want to stop going through diets and just start living and start being everything that you ever want to be and pursuing it, work with ShiftEQ. I will promise you that you'll have at least 100% mind shift to starting to view things from a very constructive standpoint. And not only things, but also yourself. You'll start viewing yourself in such an empowered way because you know that all the decisions that you can make are there for you. Everything that you can do to lead a healthier style are already there for you. Because I will show you there is always a way to make better decisions. Okay, guys, I hope you guys enjoy this. Go to ShiftEQ.org. Also, I'm selling these amazing, I hope you guys see it, right? These amazing, wonderful white and brilliant black ShiftEQ shirts at this amazing going rate. First edition ShiftEQ shirts at an alarming rate of $19.99 plus shipping and handling. Every single dollar for all these shirt sales goes back into the company, to whether it's to create the brand, also going to establish a podcast. It's going to be the ShiftEQ.Podcast with Alan Kay. And then, if you guys can support the channel, if you guys can support the brand, I would appreciate it. All right, guys, like I said, for more information, go to ShiftEQ.org. Also, go to, message me, ShiftEQLLC@gmail.com. All right, guys, hope you guys enjoy this. For more content and for any kind of inquiry, please reach out. I love you guys. Hope you guys have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon.